Hello, and welcome to Sports by Compion. My name, of course, is Stephen Compion, and I'm joined here by the man we come to when we need answers about what's going on in New England. What's going on in that northeastern area where they used to win tons and tons of championships. We bring in the handman. Cooper O'Connell himself is in the house. Cooper, how are you?
I'm good. It's good to be in Nation. It's been a while. Hope you didn't forget
Absolutely.
about me. I haven't forgotten
Never.
about you.
Never, of course not. You're our resident Patriots expert. You weathered the storm that was 2024, as did Drake May. He survived despite
I
getting
don't know
sacked
about
a
I
couple
don't know about
times.
weather the storm, but he did survive the storm.
He
Think
did.
like think like Hurricane Katrina, like that kind of storm. You know,
Yeah,
Drake May made it out of it alive, but it
and that's what
was
matters.
not weathered, I would say.
And now they have dropped his new challenge upon him, the 2025 schedule. It's here, Cooper. The draft is a wrap. How are we feeling about our team? How are we feeling about opening up against the Las Vegas Raiders?
I'd say big picture, I'm optimistic. Vegas has us at 8.5. That's our wins-loss line for the season, which is pretty high for a team that just won 4 games last year. Um,
Yeah.
but I would say the Raiders is going to be a sneaky tough game. They're a team that's also ascending. Geno Smith can carve you up if you're not careful. He's very
Oh,
slept on
yeah.
quarterback in the NFL. Pete Carroll, we've gotten hours against him, the Patriots, in the past. But now that he has Ashton Genty, I don't know if he's going to be throwing the ball on the 1 yard line anymore. Uh,
Probably not.
Going to be a big test for our front seven. And the biggest storyline I think for me is Will Campbell versus Mad Max Crosby. It's going to be really interesting to see in his first start how he does against one of the best pass rushers in the league.
Yeah, we will get to the draft of the New England Patriots here in a moment. The schedule was a drop recently, so we figured we're going to start with that. Sports by Compion fans, as we mentioned, we start off early against Las Vegas. Yeah, so Max Crosby versus number one overall draft pick Will Campbell. It's going to be a test for the kid right out the gate for sure. And then you got division rivals. Matt, what's his name? Mr. Mike McDaniels will bring in his squad. We'll see it. Tua will probably still be alive because it's only week 2. So yeah, that's a tough one right there, especially when the Dolphins are firing on all cylinders, and they do like to start fast, and then they usually peter out about midseason.
Yeah, I don't like those September games in Miami. It's always too hot, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
that's true too.
I think the team gets a little fatigued faster than normal. Um,
Yeah.
the Miami air hits a lot different in September,
Oh yeah.
than the New England air, and I think an interesting thing is going to see what happens with Tyreek Hill in these coming months. It would be great as a Patriots fan if he went to some other team because he's a very good football player and he's also very good at causing trouble off the field. So we'll see if Mike McDaniel's gotten tired of him yet. But when you have an MVP caliber receiver like Tyreek, even though he took a step down last year, I mean, you let him be as insane as he wants, and you know, all you got to do is just make sure he's on the field every Sunday. I think McDaniel knows that putting up with Tyreek's bullshit is good for him and good for his career, and it's good for Tua's career too. So
Oh, it's definitely good for Tua's career.
yeah,
Sometimes you got to put up with the shenanigans. Speaking of a team that didn't want to put up with any more wide receiver shenanigans, the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be coming into town. 1 p.m. kickoff. What are you thinking from the Steelers squad? They got. We can't go through all of these. It might take a little too long. So we'll go a little rapid fire here.
just some quick hitters. I mean, the Steelers are a big mystery right now because everyone's assuming Rodgers is going to go to them, but nothing's really final yet. Um, Obviously, they're going to be a solid team, very well coached. I could see that as an early season L for us, um, just because they're usually a pretty sound football team. Their defense is great. It's going to be a big test for our new offensive line. We have a very different O line than we did last year. David Andrews, one of the last dynasty guys, just retired. The final connection to the Tom Brady Patriots, Joe Cardona, our long snapper, has been released due to a failed
Wow.
physical lately. So that's it. Uh,
Wow.
the final link to Tom Brady has finally been snapped. But what we do have is 52 links to Drake May in our
Let's go, baby.
53-man roster this coming season. So hopefully,
Let's go.
that'll be similar. But yeah, Steelers are going to be tough. Panthers,
Carolina, who knows what to have.
They're going to be a little sneaky next year, I think. They were a little sneaky last year, too.
Yep, they're sneaky little bastards there in Carolina. Bryce Young is a sneaky little dude. So we'll move on from that. We don't know what to expect with them. Then you got to go into Buffalo. Always a tough game against, the reigning MVP himself, Mr. Josh Allen.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest problem the Patriots have had against Josh Allen the last couple of years is the inability to just finish the deal when we're pressuring him. We can pressure him, but can't sack the man for our lives. We have managed to steal a couple in Buffalo the last couple of years, but that's going to be a tough one. Sunday Night Football, though, the whole nation watching, it'll be a good test for Drake May for sure.
I love to hear it. I think Drake May is a baller, so I'm excited to see what he can do this year. Hopefully he'll beat the shit out of New Orleans when you guys travel over there. Their quarterback room looks like a hot mess, so we'll see what happens. That would be a disgrace
if we lost to the Saints, honestly.
You got to go beat the Saints. You got to go beat the Titans. If you're going to be this ascending team and above, the bad teams, you got to be able to beat the bad teams. So
Browns. I was just saying that I think this Falcons, Titans, Browns, or this Saints, Titans, Browns, Falcons stretch, we have to be hitting our stride then, or else we're in big trouble this season.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I would love it if you guys could beat the Falcons. That would really help out the Bucs, who you would have the previous week in Tampa Bay. I mean, the next week in Tampa Bay. How you feeling about that one? Apparently, New England has only gone down to play in Tampa Bay twice in the whole history of the league. The last one.
Yeah, we played the Bucs in London one time. That was probably when we were supposed to go down there. That was 2010, I think.
Yeah.
I went to the game when the Bucs came to Gillette when Brady was the quarterback, and that was incredibly expensive, but very worth it, even though we lost on a Nick Folk field goal. I left that stadium a fool, thinking that Mac Jones was the guy. All I could think about was how good Mac Jones was that game. And for about 8 more weeks, that felt that felt real. And then unfolded after that. But that was a lot of fun. That was a classic Patriots game. It rained the entire time. There were people wearing these half jerseys with half Buccaneers Brady and half Patriots Brady, and I wanted to just line them up on a wall.
Really?
For liability reasons, I'm not going to say
what you would have done once they lined up
on that wall.
Right.
That pissed me off so much. The guy wins the Patriots 6 Super Bowls, and you're wearing a half jersey.
Yeah, maybe they're just Brady fans now, I guess.
I said if you're gonna be a Bucs fan when Brady goes, then don't come back.
Yeah.
The Bucs have been doing pretty well lately, so that is a pretty solid investment, I guess.
Yeah, it's worked out well for anyone who came over from the Brady faction. You guys just win all the time, right? Us normal Bucs fans, we're no, dude, this is totally new. Winning the division 4 years in a row is wild for us.
Bucs is going to be a tough game. They have a great receiving room. They just added that dude Mbuka in the draft. I love that. Jalen McMillan has been completely overshadowing his Washington teammate Jalen Polk, who was on the Patriots and had about 100 receiving yards last year. We'll see if he steps up this year, but we invested heavily into receiver this offseason, so that tells me we don't have a lot of faith in him. I would chalk up the Bucs as an L as it stands right now. I mean, they're a much more complete team than we are.
And then you got the Jets after that. Luckily, you're at home for the first Jets encounter, which the Jets are also in turmoil with Justin Fields at the helm now. That should be interesting. I wonder if he'll still have his job by the time they play.
Yeah, I mean, they don't really have a
they don't really have anybody
backup,
else.
Do they?
No, I can't think of who the backup is. So
I'm trying to think of who they drafted someone or what.
Is Mike White somehow back over there? It wouldn't surprise me if Mike White somehow got back over there. He's just waiting for his opportunity.
It's Tyrod Taylor.
Tyrod Taylor, of course, the classic backup. Yeah, he'll probably be starting by then. Guarantee you, Tyrod Taylor's good
the whole season.
We'll see. I don't mean to doubt Fields. We'll see how he does. Anyway, and then you guys got to go to the Bengals, which who knows what you're getting with the Bengals. They might have somewhat of a defense. They might just be terrible at defense again. Did they draft a bunch of offensive guys again?
Could be Drake May's first 40-point outing. That defense is awful.
Did they have a receiver in the first round? They did, right?
Who did they get in the first round?
I thought that
They got
no,
Shamar
no, they went
Stewart.
pass rusher.
They
They
got
went
Shamar
pass rusher.
Stewart.
No, so they went pass rusher, and now they might lose Hendrickson, which apparently might be the move what they're doing because they apparently don't
God,
want to
that's
pay him.
a masterclass in how not to do business. Oh my God.
And it works if you're cheating on Madden, and you can tell that the rookie is like really good, like he's already a 73 or a 74 overall, and you're like, sorry, Max, we just can't pay, or Hendrickson, and like, yeah, just let him walk. But then you trade him for draft picks, is what you do. So yeah. Anyway, then you guys got the Giants. That's a home game, so that's nice.
Monday Night Football.
Oh, you love to see it. What a
Super Bowl
time.
rematch.
So Drake May against the new young gun. I bet you Dark will be starting by then, so that'll be fun. That'll be fun to see him on primetime.
Even if we both suck, I need us to beat the Giants. I
The
can't ever see
Giants
the
Patriots is always
that to
somehow
happen in
good.
those two Super Bowls. Yeah, I mean it's usually close. I don't know about good, but I went to a Giants Patriots game like a year or two ago, and it was Bailey Zappi versus Tommy DeVito in the
Let's
rain.
fucking go.
Somehow it always rains when I go to games. But the final score was 10-7, and we
Yes.
lost on a missed 35-yard field goal by
Cooper, what is
Chad
your record when
Ryland.
you're watching the Patriots? This doesn't sound good. It sounds like you're 0-2 so far.
Last time I went to a Patriots game where we won was 2022. We
Oh
beat
no.
Teddy Bridgewater and the Dolphins at Gillette.
Let's go.
So yeah, I went this year. We lost to the Seahawks, so that's why I'm a little worried about Geno Smith in Week 1. But I digress. I do better with the Red Sox and the Celtics than I do with the Patriots.
Fair enough.
Bruins, I'm
Okay.
like 500.
I think I'm just a little over 500 with the Bucks. All right, we got Buffalo at home. This is the second matchup against Buffalo now.
Give me one. Give me one win against Buffalo.
You gotta take one. It's a rivalry. You gotta take one.
Give us one against Buffalo.
For sure. And then you go, this is gonna be gross. You gotta go to Baltimore? Yeah, you're going to Baltimore, dude. That's gross.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
I mean, they just have us outmatched in like most position groups, and I think Mike Vrabel's a great coach, but God, Lamar Jackson is just
He's
so incredibly hard to defend.
He is. He's a nightmare.
There are days when teams can, make him look like he's having an off day, but can't really count on that. The other thing is that like our front seven is kind of a new group. Our secondary, besides we just got Carlton Davis from Tampa Bay.
He came over from the Lions, right?
Or from the Lions, yeah. Sorry,
he was on Tampa Bay. He was, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we drafted him.
Our secondary's been a pretty consistent group. A lot of returning starters besides Davis, and our front seven's like completely overhauled. So I would hope by that point that they have some semblance of identity, because we're going to get ran all over if not. There was a game last year. We were in London, and the Jaguars ran the ball like 20 straight times on us, and it just worked every time. That's how bad our run defense was last year. Christian Barmore, our best D lineman, had blood clots, so he missed a lot of time. And he's coming back this year. I hope that he hasn't like lost a step or anything. We just gave a bag to Milton Williams from the Eagles, who had a solid season, but he wasn't a full-time starter. So we're asking a lot more of him than the Eagles did last year. So that's kind of a toss-up in my brain right now as to, is that going to look good in December? Or is it not going to look that good? But all new linebackers, Robert Spillane, Harold Landry. I'm looking forward to seeing what this new front seven can do.
Cool. Well, you got the final two games, the rivalry games. Probably split those, the Jets and Dolphins. And overall, I think you're probably right. Probably about 9-7, or what is it nowadays? It's 9-8.
Yeah, I give us like 10-7.
Yeah,
I like us to win 10 games.
I like that. For the
we have the quarterback and the head coach. That's a very big piece of the puzzle.
Those are two very big pieces of the puzzle. Who's he throwing it to? Who's receiver one over there though? Is it Booty?
Well, right now it's Stephon Diggs coming off a torn MCL.
Oh, right. Yeah, they got Stephon Diggs.
I think people are a little overhyping Diggs right now. I'm not sure what my expectations are of him, but I'm tempering them just because he's a little bit older. He's coming off an injury. He was
Yeah,
great in Houston, I'll say that.
he was good
But
in
then
Houston.
Demario Douglas is going to play in the slot for us. And Demario Douglas is super, super underrated, in my opinion. By most of like the PFF route running metrics, he's like near the top in terms of getting open. But since Drake May was running for his life pretty much every drop back last year, it didn't really translate into a lot of yardage. But Drake, uh, Demario Douglas is a very solid slot receiver, 6th round guy out of Liberty. And then we drafted this dude, Kyle Williams, from Washington State in the 3rd round. And I expect him to start, maybe not week 1, but at some point as our one of our outside guys. And then the other big improvement in our passing game, aside from the receivers and then some of the new linemen that we added, is my boy Travion Henderson, the running back we drafted in round 2. He's one of the best pass blocking running backs in possibly the universe, if you were to ask me. Um,
Wow,
not
the
sure.
whole universe.
Yeah,
Ohio State
until I
guy.
see
Ohio State
someone
just
from.
puts out like they just put out football players, man.
Yeah, exactly. Him and Judkins were a juggernaut last year.
Yeah,
Um, but also he never fumbled either. He had 0 career fumbles. So I really like what he's going to bring to the team. Super explosive. Maybe this is a good, you know, kind of silent nod to Ramondre Stevenson, like, hey, start holding on to the football or else this guy's taking all your carries.
yeah.
And I love Ramondre. Ramondre is a great downhill runner. He's a power back. He reminds me of Garrett Blunt in some ways, but he had some trouble holding on to the ball last year. So um, I think this
It's good
is
to have
a
some
way of
competition.
silently setting the standard a little bit.
Yeah. Plus, you got like he's a different speed. This guy, so it's a nice little 1-2 punch for if they can get that going, and that takes a lot
Yeah,
of pressure off of Drake May
yeah, big time.
for sure. Nice move. So obviously, hopping over to the draft, Will Campbell with the number 4th overall pick. A lot of people thought he was absolutely the best tackle in this draft. You happy with the pick?
Yeah. A lot of people thought that he was a big drop off from the top 3, namely Abdul Carter and Travis Hunter. But I don't know. I think that all the hoopla about his arm length is pretty you know,
Overblown.
overblown. I think just one of those things where the guy can play football.
Yeah.
And players like who have been under that arm length threshold have succeeded before. Rashawn Slater on the Chargers is a good
Yeah.
example of that. Uh, if he can turn into Rashawn Slater, then fuck yeah. That is a slam dunk pick at 4.
Sure.
And some people think he profiles better as a guard in the NFL. Now, we don't really have the ability to put him at guard because we're so devoid of offensive tackles. But, I mean, if he can turn into Logan Mankins, then again, I'll take that.
For
I
sure.
just like that we're adding like youth and like blue chip talent to the O line. That's really what we needed last year. Um, Travis Hunter would have been great. Abdul Carter would have been great, but they're not protecting Drake May. And Drake May is
And
the franchise.
he's a franchise. That's absolutely correct. They did get him another weapon in Kyle Williams out of Washington State, who you were just talking about earlier. So hopefully he could catch on quick and get it going. Oh, they got more protection for Drake May in the 4th round. Is that the 4th? Yeah, 4th round. Oh,
Yeah,
this is still in the 3rd. They had 2 third-round picks. That's nice.
yeah. Yeah,
A
he's
good
a
old
center.
Georgia boy. You love that. You'll love to see that.
It's working out for the Eagles, drafting all Georgia players. So
Yeah,
maybe there's something to it.
love
But
it.
yeah, David Andrews just retired. He was our center for the past like 10 years or something. He
Whatever
won a
happened
few
to
Super Bowls with
Strange?
us.
Strange washed out.
He's nursing an injury. I mean, I feel like he's been nursing injuries for a while, but he's gonna come back and compete for the starting left guard spot.
Okay.
This guy City Sow, I like a little better than him right now, just
Hmm.
in terms of their recent tape. But the thing with Cole Strange is I think he has to put on a little bit of weight. Um, we'll see how that happens because we drafted him a little early in 2022. That was like the holy shit pick of like the first round,
Yeah, it
because
was. I remember that.
yeah, a lot of guys had him graded as like a third round talent. But he's very athletic. He just can't really stay on the field, and he has improved like when he's played consistently, but he just hasn't been on the field consistently. And the best ability is availability.
Yes, sir. Can't make the club if you're in the tub.
Yep.
Well,
It's better to piss in the sink than sink in the piss,
I don't think that. Oh my god, you just ruined it. Wow, we were looking super sage over here.
I'm
Anyway,
not wrong. I'm not
you're
wrong.
not wrong though. That's absolutely
You can say what you want.
correct.
I'm not wrong.
No, that's
But
true.
but yeah, point being, Jared Wilson, might not start immediately. We got Garrett Bradbury from the Vikings, but he's an intriguing pick. He's definitely a guy to watch out for in training camp.
Could always slide him out to guard for a little while.
We need centers. Last year we had an issue where we literally had like no guys who could snap the football. And we got this guy Ben Brown, who was a practice squad guy and actually played really, really well. I'm wondering if that was a mirage or if that's something that we can count on again this season, because I haven't heard a lot about Ben Brown this offseason. But I mean, he's definitely a guy who could also steal that starting center spot.
Sweet. Good to have a lot of competition there. We got Greg Woodson. I'm not really sure what Greg Woodson plays. SFA. What the hell?
He's a safety.
I forget. Okay. Yeah.
I'm a simple man. If there's a defensive back with the last name Woodson, I'm
Yeah.
happy with it.
Yeah. Fair enough. Wow, they had
And
2 fourth-round picks also. Okay.
yeah,
You guys had a whole bunch of picks.
we had the second, third round pick from the Matt Judon deal. We fleeced the Falcons for Matt Judon. I love Judon. He was a great Patriot for a couple of years, but we traded him right before he was just kind of washed, and now he's still a free agent. So that worked out big time for us.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
then
Yeah. Terrible year with Seattle. I was here for it.
We went defense, in the later rounds, kind of evening things out because we went heavy offense early in the draft.
So Mr. Foreman or Farmer.
Yep.
And then 5th round, we go Swanson, also edge. Hopefully, he can develop into a good little pass rusher. Got a kicker in the 6th. And then we go back to tackle and long snapper. Wow, a whole bunch of picks. Jeez, we had 3 7th rounders. You guys had a boatload of picks, man.
I love that we drafted a long snapper and a kicker.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
We're not neglecting our special teams.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Look at this guy. He's got a full suit and tie. I love that for him.
Yeah. Also, another interesting thing is that the Dolphins just signed Joe Cardona, our former long snapper. And the Dolphins signed our long snapper before Joe Cardona. And do you remember that play where the Patriots blocked a field goal against the Dolphins and our guy ran from like the sideline basically and timed the snap so they couldn't even like block him because he was just coming on a straight sprint down
I think so.
down the line of scrimmage? That was because the Patriots knew like his tick, like the long snapper. They knew his tell for when he would time the snap.
Oh, wow.
So I forget what it was. Maybe he like put his head down or something, but they were able to time it perfectly. So I'm wondering if Joe Cardona has a similar tell and we can do something like that because that was really cool. We lost that game. We didn't play very well besides that, but
that was
cool.
one
of the final cool Bill Belichick things in his Patriots tenure. Was that play?
Oh, yeah. Well, fun times going on with Bill Belichick nowadays. A lot of people a little worried about him, Coop. Are you one of those people? I'm personally not too worried about my man. I think he's okay. I think he's having some fun.
Yeah, I mean the whole thing's pretty weird, just considering it's like
a
guy who's had such a vice grip on like his image in the media and whatnot. Like it's, I'll tell you, I don't like it that much. I've muted like all stuff related to their relationship on social media. I'm happy that Bill's happy, but I just don't want to see it because I don't want to be a hater. That's my guy, Belichick.
Pretty much. That's kind of how I feel about it a little bit too. I'm like, he's having his fun. Hopefully, he's still in control.
But I'm not like a psychic or like a psychologist or a person with a high emotional EQ, but
sure,
just think that everything that his girlfriend does, just her mannerisms, the way she talks, the way she carries herself, it all just exudes pure evil,
You're not wrong.
Just a menacing aura. And Steve Belichick's wife doesn't like her.
Oh no,
She was publicly saying that on Instagram. Maybe
that's
not that
not.
she doesn't like her, but she was criticizing that weird interview they did a couple of weeks ago on CBS.
That's the thing that blew up. It's like it's all gotten very weird since then.
My gut tells me to stick with Steve Belichick's wife on this one. So
100%. I just hope that Bill's like just enjoying like a really good time, but there's still part of him that's in control, and he's not just like head over heels for this very young girl and just letting her run him. I hope that's what's happening, Coop.
I mean, the guy's let football dominate his life forever,
Yeah,
and
he
I
really
guess he
might
just
just be
wants to
having a
let
good
loose
time.
for a little bit.
Yeah, and I hope that's his case. I hope he's still having fun, but in control and not letting her like dog walk him. That'd be sad.
As far as I know, the relationship is consensual.
Yeah.
There's a lot worse things that could be happening
Oh yeah.
with athletes.
Oh yeah.
He's not
No, it's not
stealing
like she's
welfare
ugly.
money
So
like
like
Brett Favre was. You know,
yeah.
uh, wait,
But anyway, I started to get you
allegedly,
talking about
allegedly.
this after you didn't want to talk about him anyway. But yeah,
Sorry,
I did
I
have to
said
ask.
allegedly with the Brett Favre thing. So I know he filed a
It's all
lawsuit
alleged.
against Pat McAfee a little
Oh yeah,
while
no,
ago.
all alleged. Brett, we're way too tiny for you to even think about coming after little sports by Compion. We're behind it, dude.
Hey
Whatever
man,
you
one day
whatever.
Brett Favre's gonna watch this. You're gonna blow up, and Brett Favre's gonna be pissed off at the Ham Man.
Yeah,
It's actually good. I don't use my real name in this. You can't sue the Ham Man.
I did kind of say it when I introduced you, though.
Oh fuck. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. But that's
That
okay.
doesn't
Don't worry.
nail it.
By then we'll be big enough we can afford good lawyers. And we'll
Yeah.
just say we said alleged, Brett. We said alleged.
Yeah.
We don't believe any of the accusations, Brett.
There's
Not
no way
over
to
here.
really know if he ever did that for real or if he
No,
ever sent that
exactly.
dick pic.
And we don't have any idea or strong opinions one way or the other about it here at Sports by Compion. We do,
Yeah.
however, have some strong opinions about you kind of like doing whatever the heck that was with Mike Shanahan for that last sack. And now you kind of made it harder for Shanahan because I think he was still going to get you regardless. You didn't
For
need to go down
Strahan, you
like
mean?
that for Strahan. Yeah, I'm an idiot. Sorry. But yeah, for that last sack, it was unnecessary. He was probably going to get you regardless. Just play football. And like the fact that he went down like that has all these people bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I on one hand I can understand not wanting to get tackled by Michael Strahan, but
Yeah.
the other hand, what the fuck? You know?
Well, because
That
he wanted to give him the
I've had to
title,
see
but it was
that
like,
play on like NFL Network when I'm watching like top tens and things like that, whatever shows they
yeah,
have, and talk about Michael Strahan's record-breaking season, and that's always like the number
asterisk.
one play you have to watch, and it's like not even that exciting of a play.
Right.
That's like what Jalen Brunson does when he drives down the lane against the Celtics. Brett
So
Favre's trying to
you
get
brought
to
up
the
your
free throw
Celtics.
line.
We don't normally talk basketball here on Social Media Compion, but I'll make an exception since you're a handsome boy. Are your Celtics going to be able to get this done now that Tatum is out? He's gone. He can't lead the boys, dude. It's going to have to be somebody else.
There's a man named Luke Cornett who has something to say about that. Luke
Okay.
Cornett had 7 blocks last night. I have never
Word.
seen Luke Cornett light the garden on fire like that in his entire life. Luke Cornett's a sweaty, gangly white guy. He doesn't quite have the aura that Tatum has, but goddamn, could that man work? And he got more minutes than he has normally last night, and he absolutely killed it. I think if he played like a starter's amount of time, he could have had a triple double in points, rebounds, and blocks. He was
Damn.
cooking. So, I watched last night, despite Tatum being hurt, just to see what kind of character they showed, and we could have gone down soft, but instead we came out swinging. We punched the Knicks in the mouth, and as they say, there's nothing more dangerous than a wounded animal, and that's kind of what the Celtics are right now. The whole
Yeah.
garden's rallying around Tatum.
Love it. Love it.
So, Game
It's going to
6
be a
Friday
fight.
night. Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go, Knicks. Can you close it out? We'll find out. Anyway, Coop, we appreciate you coming on and talking about your beloved New England Patriots. We do wish them the best, except for when they come down to Tampa, of course, in which case I wish them terrible things, except for injuries. No one needs to get hurt, but you can't win either. So anyway, we appreciate you coming on for that. Do you have any final words, wisdom you'd like to share with the fine people of Sports by Compion?
I read an interesting fable today, and I'm trying to tie this into our Patriots talk. I'm not going to. I'm just going to look stupid. I don't have anything to say.
That's fine. Well, we appreciate you coming on anyway. Your smile illuminates the podcast. Sports Play Comedy fans, please make sure you're liking and subscribing. We're actually very close to 400 subscribers, and that would be kind of cool. It'd be pretty dope.
Or Hondo.
400. I know. It's a decent number. So, yeah, please like and subscribe. Share it with your friends and your enemies. Share it with them, too. But for now, we're out.